Sorry, just doing a little bit of maintenance there. 03444991000 is the telephone number. Although sometimes the calls just dry up. Delve and dive into the sun.
Should we have a sideways look at life? What does that mean? Wackiness.
6 in 10. Here we go. This is you, Catherine.
Go on.
6 in 10 Brits are stuck in a musical rut, only listening to artists they already know. That describes you to a T. Yeah. Whereas I am musically versatile.
No, you don't. You're the man who says you don't need any more bands.
I know we're not supposed to talk about the adverts, but there's a website called Subbies. I'm sure you've got to be careful typing that in, because you're gonna end up with some kind of, people looking for dominatrix. That's a strange thing. No. I am very, very open to musical suggestions.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I listened to a new Paul McCartney album the other day.
That's still Paul McCartney?
Yeah, but it's one I'd not heard before.
Oh, okay.
So, so I listened to different stuff.
What new bands are you into?
Well, I'd say that I'm looking forward to the Paul McCartney's got a new album coming out soon, so I'm looking forward to that, yeah. So, actually, I tell you what, my sister got me an album. I thought I brought it because I wanted to listen to it in the car. It is, I'm going to say it's called Doris and... What was the name of that? Who are the... Doris and... Nikki? Doris and Nikki. What was the name... Doris and Nikki. Is someone know? If someone knows the album that my sister bought me, I'll describe it, okay? And someone will know it, right? You can tweet me it or whatever. So it's this lost sort of classic from the 60s, apparently, and it's a girl, and I think it's her 13-year-old sister or brother, and it's only been released sort of recently. And that's kind of all I know about it. But I've not got it. I've not... Does that help anybody name it? It's a very vague description.
Are you sure if there was a Doris involved?
No, I don't know the actual names of it. It's something and something. And it's like, it's either two sisters or a sister and a brother. And one's sort of about 18 and one's 13. And they made an album. I wish my sister was not so lazy and was awake and could...
She's awful, isn't she?
Could tweet me this. I'll get a tweet sort of in 3 days going, oh, it's... Well, I know, because I'll have it. It's on the floor of the flat. Anyway. 6 in 10 Brits are stuck in a musical rut, only listening to artists they already know. Over 1 in 4 will sample songs from outside their favourites, says a survey by a music streaming service I'm not going to name, because I never do. But it's one I'd not heard of before.
Yeah.
You don't even know what I was just saying then, do you?
Yes, music streaming service that you've not heard of before. Wendy and Bonnie. Is it Wendy and Bonnie?
Wendy and Bonnie, how do you know that?
Because I'm looking at the what the YouTubers are saying, and sometimes they're helpful.
Hey, yes, Wendy and Bonnie!
Thank you, Smerrington Weeps.
Right. So, should we have a little listen to it?
Go on.
There we go. Here we go, listen, this is the description. Wendy and Bonnie were American singing sisters who recorded the album Genesis in 1969 for Sky Records. Wendy and Bonnie grew up in California. Their parents, Art and Jeannie Flower, were professional musicians. All right. Okay. Right. Well, should we have a little listen to it? This is the album that my sister bought me. That is that's pretty. Could you stop making those noises?
When are they going to do Invisible Touch?
Right. You're just being silly.
I can dance. I can walk. That one.
You're just being silly. I'm trying to find. Anyway. Let's. I know what will fill a minute and 20. These ads.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
We are Talk
Radio. Give it some
Baseline.
around 90 seconds and you're done. Seriously, that's how little time it takes to shave your head with the all-new Pitbull from Skull Shaver.
Is that the one about the girl with the big
no
arm?
cuts, no problem.
it was older
You can
than that.
shave your
I'm
face
all
or
about
head,
the
wet or
big
dry.
Big arm, no
From
tips.
Skull Shaver just does the job. It's the perfect Father's Day gift too, or the perfect you gift. Whatever, save 10% right now. Go to skullshaver.com and use promo code radio.
Cast your mind back and think, were you ever contacted out of the blue for a pension review? Were you advised to move your work or personal pension into a SIP, self-invested personal pension?
Yes, I was.
You could be due thousands if you were missold. Money Redress are trusted claim specialists in pension and investment mis-selling. They'll manage the whole claim for you on a no payout, no fee basis, so you can't lose. Text WIN
You're
to
making this up.
85077.
Hey, Philip Schofield here. WeBuyAnyCar.com reckon you could find out what your car's worth in under 60 seconds.
It rings a bell.
I didn't believe it myself, so I timed it. And it's true. It actually took me only 53 seconds. Not that it's a race. So if you
I
want to
remember
find
that,
out
yeah,
how
yeah.
much your car's worth, or just want to beat my time, enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com. Think I might give it another go. 49. Get in.
Admin fee may apply. For more information, see weebuyanycar.com/info.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee. On air and off the leash. On Talk Radio.
That Bonnie and Tyler album has reminded me of one of the greatest albums I ever bought, right? When my dad died, I went a bit nuts and I spent about 200 quid on DVD, time travel DVDs. And I spent a fortune on Red Cherry's website, which...
Cherry Red.
Cherry Red. No, Red Cherries first of all, then I went to Cherry Red. Red Cherry's something different, actually, Catherine. So you think you corrected me and you think you got one over me, but actually you've embarrassed yourself there because it's two different websites.
I burned you because it was a musical correction.
No, it wasn't. Let's go to www.redcherry.
You're so salty about it.
Go to redcherry.com and let's just see what show you there. Right, the website's closed down. So let me see what Red Cherry
You
is.
can buy it though, right?
Red Cherry Lashes is what I bought. Red Cherry Lashes. So I bought a lot. I spent a fortune at Red Cherry Lashes. Then I went to Cherry Red Records, right? And I bought a fortune just on albums where I like the look of the album cover. And do you know what? I might do that again tomorrow. And one of them was this album called T and Cara, As They Are. I mean, this is the best album cover. It's these two really scruffy individuals sat on the sidewalk of what looks like New York City.
They're eating sandwiches, aren't they?
Well, they're eating big sandwiches, but you can't really see Cara because there's a water hydrant in the way, and it looks like they've just been called. And it's packed full of gems like this. Listen to this. Listen to when his harmony comes in, right? This is great. Listen.
When I was a kid, I had this friend who followed behind me, watching my heels and stepping in time. Soon he grew up and still.
Wait for the harmony.
Listening for signals, saluting with pride, and stepping in time. Keeping his vows, watching his mouth, eating his words, and stepping in time. He tagged along and I was proud. Didn't do no harm, saving my place when we stood in line. He wasn't cool, but he was there. I was his idol and he didn't dare to step out of line. Bow to my whim, come go or stay, but don't get in my way for stepping in time. You,
where did you go? It's great, isn't it?
Makes you think Nuts in May.
Yeah.
You would do anything for me. Me and my shadow, bird and small. Slamming my door closed and walked through my hall. Me on my soapbox, laughed in a laugh. Ignored his goodbye and never asked why. Years come and go, I know it's true. Waiting for someone that you never knew. You can't lose your mind. Keeping my pride, I lost my friend. True to my precepts and true to the end. I'm waiting in line. Keeping my vows, watching my mouth, eating my words and stepping in time. You, where did you go? Always was a friend to me. You never asked anything of me. Me and my shadow, bird and small. Slamming my door closed and walked through my hall. Me on my soapbox, laughed in a laugh. Ignored his goodbye and never asked why. Years come and go, I know it's true. Waiting for someone who you never knew. You can't lose your mind. Keeping my pride, I lost my friend. True to my precepts and true to the end. I'm waiting in line. Keeping my vows, watching my mouth. Eating eating my words and slipping in time, keeping my vows, watching my mouth, eating my words and slipping in time.
I can't think of any other song that has the word precepts
I
in.
know, I was
True
thinking,
to
well
my
done.
I don't even know what a precept is. True to my precepts. That's great. So they went in, from what I can gather, they went in about 67, 68 to record this album, but it was like just him with a guitar and her singing, and those two singing. And they recorded it, and then they went back a few months later, and the record company said, "Here's your album," and they put like a whole band over it and drums and stuff. And they went, "No, that's not our album." They said, "Yeah. So now you're going to go out and promote it," and they went, "Nah, not bothered," and just walked away. Just walked
Because
away.
they were true to their precepts.
They were true to their precepts.
Do you know what a precept is then?
You've just Googled it.
Of course I have.
Go on.
I thought it might be, but I had to double check.
All right. True to my precepts. Well, to your preconceived ideas. To your no, don't give me the shaky head. True to your precepts. It's pre. So it's that pre-concepts, your precepts.
No, a general rule intended to regulate
Well, that's what pretty.
behaviour or thought. So the synonym would be principle.
Yeah, pretty much what I said, actually, Catherine. I think.
Not the same at all.
Yeah, no, not the same, but pretty much.
Okay. Well, as long as we've all learned something, that's the important thing. It's not about being right, is it?
The one of the greatest pages in the Daily Star is the texts. The texts. You can send a text, and there's a brilliant text, right? I do this every day. Please, can you do a pic of sexy Jessie Nelson from Little Mix wearing boots?
Wow.
It would show off her hot body a treat. And fair play, that's exactly what they've done. That's exactly what they've done.
It's a very specific request.
Why would you text that in?
Why don't you Google that?
Please, can you do a pic of sexy Jessie Nelson from Little Mix wearing boots? Very specific. It would show off her hot body a treat.
Gosh.
Here's a funny. Some of these are funny and some of these are serious. If Heinz do change salad cream to sandwich cream,
They won't.
what the hell would I put on my salad?
A sandwich.
This is a great one from Mad Max the Mad Chef. All this rubbish about salad cream. If they started calling petrol go-go juice, we would still buy it. Go-go juice.
He's got them there.
That's a good point.
He knows.
When will councils find... This is from Dog Lover. When will councils fine drivers for parking on paths? Think of all the revenue they can rake in. Then people can walk on paths. Excellent points. Pip says, do online shoppers realise they are costing thousands of people their jobs? Soon there won't be any high street shops. Do online shoppers realise? How do you spell desserts?
D-E-S-S-E-R-T-S, right?
Okay, well, I'll read this then. What is the world coming to when a poor 90-year-old woman is beaten in her bed? I hope they get their just desserts, the scumbags. Just desserts. That's that.
Gosh, the text is really... I mean, some of them are furious, aren't they?
Some of them are furious, and some of them, I don't know.
Some of them just like boots, and Jessie Nelson wearing them.
This is exciting geeky news. Some of the missing 97 episodes of Doctor Who could be returned to the BBC, an expert has claimed. Come on. I love this, right? That stuff from 65 years ago. I love the fact that even now, Beatles stuff turns up that no one knew, like film or acetates or autographs or letters. It's turning up. That's partly because people are dying, and so parents and grandparents are dying, and the kids go through the stuff in the loft. Go flipping this, and this could happen. This BBC Doctor Who archivist, I'm going to say now.
Well, why?
Paul Vanesis, who unearthed 4 lost instalments in Cyprus in the 1980s, said, hang on a minute, said he knows where more of the black and white episodes are located.
Oh, of course he does.
Chinny record. He found 4 in the 80s, and now 35 years later, you know where there's some more, do you, boy? The William Hartnell and Patrick Troughton eras of the show were decimated when the BBC purged archives in the 1970s with the start of colour TV, believing no one would watch black and white shows again. You suckers. Mr. Vanesis said there are missing Doctor Who's with private collectors. They may be interested in handing them over. Private collectors are weird, right? There's apparently there's some silent footage of the Monkees live in 1967, right? And I was talking to someone who knows the guy that has supposedly got it. Now, he doesn't want to share it with anyone, so he's got it just for himself, right? Now, that means he either hasn't got it or he's an arsehole. One of those two things. Because
it could be both.
It could be both. It could be both. And I can understand why in the 80s and 90s you'd think, well, maybe there's a few quid in that. But everything, particularly the Monkees, it's not the Beatles or anything.
How many times are you going to watch it?
Everything is available online now.
Yeah.
When I get rare stuff, I've had stuff that is only one copy of. I just put it on YouTube, let everyone see it. Let everyone see it, for crying out loud. Who cares, guys? Come on. Last story, and this, I don't even know why this is a story, because this is just dull. You don't say. Where is it? Next time you dry the dishes, make sure you use a fresh tea towel. Repeatedly using an old one could spread food poisoning. Well, yeah, obviously. But then again, I can use a tea towel for like maybe 3 or 4 months before thinking, I should. Actually, in the place I'm in now, I haven't got any tea towels. But I've used tea towels.
They start to smell, though.
Yeah, I know they do, but I mean, here's the thing. This is a genuine point now, as opposed to the last 2 hours, 50 minutes. This is a genuine point.
Which have been flim-flam.
Oh, it's absolute codswallop. That we don't. The reason that so many people are dying so young is because we don't ingest germs in the way we used to, right? When I was a kid, eat dirt, suck on a worm,
lick your
shoes, all of this stuff, right? All of this stuff. But now, and I used to get really angry with my family doing this with the kids when they were younger. Like, not just at the end of meals, but while they're eating, they get like antiseptic wipes and wipe their hand. I think, no, man. I always let my kids eat food off the floor.
I think it's a waste of wipes.
It's a waste of wipes, and there's more wipes in the sea than there are fishes.
It's a fact.
But I will let, if the kids drop food on the floor,
if I can still work out what it is, it's still edible.
I don't, and we need to eat. Here's the thing: we need to eat more fecal matter to survive.
I don't know about that.
No, I do know about that. I do know about that. I do. We need to put all kinds of germs in our body to. You know what a vaccine is, right?
Yes.
A vaccine is. Paul will agree with me. Paul, do you agree that we need to eat more shit?
Maybe not literally, although I've worked so long after that's just part of the part of the. No, I do. My mum used. In fact, my nan used to say, "Eat a pound of dirt before you die."
Yeah. Because you build up all the antibodies, all that. But my family, my mother-in-law primarily, but my wife, when the boys were little, would be wiping their hands in the middle of a meal. I think, come on, get all this.
Was she Howard Hughes' daughter? I don't mean the Howard Hughes who works here. Was she OCD?
There was a little bit.
It's worse for children ingest any antiseptic fluid than it is to the kind of tiny bits of dirt on a lettuce.
Isn't that a kind of dodgy seed to sow, especially with little boys? Because I know a lot of little boys don't like getting messy. They don't like making a mess with their hands and fingers and things like that. And so there would be troublesome when it came to certain
tell them what happened
foods.
to Piggy in Lord of the Flies. Get down in that dirt.
Do you know what? Here's the thing. I've had Lord of the Flies on DVD for years. I've never watched it.
Which version?
The black and white version.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I know, and I keep now I don't.
And make sure you're in the right mood when you watch that.
Bleak,
one.
isn't it?
I know. Just read that at school, flipping.
No, I never. I know the rough premise of the story. I know where it's going to go, but I keep. It's one of those things I keep thinking. Oh, I must get round to.
One of those books. I can't remember when I read it. It must have been at comprehensive secondary school, but we had a female teacher came in, a supply teacher, and we were a boys-only school, and it had been a secondary modern school. We were the first comprehensive year, so the teachers were more like jailers, basically, wardens. And we read the book, and basically the premise, as people know, is plane crashes, all the adults die, loads of boys from a public school, which may or may not be important, and the kind of savage hierarchy kicks in. And this woman asked a fantastic question, but what if there had been any girls there? It's one of those great, you think there's almost a version to be written or to be made of a different side.
I think they're going to make an all-female version.
But this was years ago she asked that, but it wasn't all female, it was just say, what if there had been girls there? And because they're prepubescent, the boys are on the cusp. It's a great question, isn't it?
Do you know what? I'm going to dive into. I'm going to watch that this week. I'm not going to read the book. I can't be bothered reading it.
His second book is better, I think, The Inheritors, and it's set in prehistoric times, and Neanderthals are still around, and they're telepathic.
Wow.
And us savage ones come along and kind of wipe them out, or do we? And it's a really great book, that. Yeah, it's an interesting bloke, William Golding.
I'll check that out. What is on your show tonight, apart from Tosh?
Well, we are crossing live to Singapore, as you might expect, but also, would you like to read that very quickly, and then I'll tell you we're covering that story in detail. From China.
City creates a pavement for phone zombies only. A Chinese industrial city has created look at this. A new portion of pavement dedicated to smombies, pedestrians so engrossed in messaging or playing games on their phones, they run the risk of walking into traffic.
We are covering that live from China, but also I've spoken to the woman who covered the story, and she said they're also saying in China, this is also for people who choose not to pay attention. Yeah. So they can, if you just think, I'm going to zone out for a bit, I'm going to go in the smombie lane.
Hey, do you know what? That's a really good point. No one daydreams anymore. Because you can't. No one. You would often.
My eldest daughter.
You're back on Davy Jones again, aren't you?
Well, yeah, but you'd often just sit. At school. I mean, I was terrible at school because I was daydreaming. But now people can't daydream because they're tapping away, playing, Fortnite on your phone and nonsense like that. I love a good daydream.
My eldest daughter's a Dolly daydream.
Really?
Yeah, it's great.
My oldest daughter is actually called Dolly, so she is quite literally, and she is Dappy Dolly or Dolly Daydream. Wow. But it's lovely. When you see them drift off when they're about, again, 10, 11, 12, you just wonder what connections are they making in those minds. Yeah. Also on the programme, I'm going to be talking to an anatomist who's also a TV presenter, got a show on BBC4 tomorrow night, when they've worked with evolutionary scientists and created the perfect human being. From all the things, like lungs of a swan, heart of a dog, legs of an emu, a marsupial pouch so women don't give birth through the canal. Yes. So we're talking about that. It's on tomorrow night, but I've tweeted the image. It's absolutely astonishing. It's a bit like Avatar meets an ostrich.
It's going to be the latest contestant on Love Island.
I think so, yeah. Slightly brighter than some of those.
They were. There was a really snarky thing in the paper about, and I heard it on BBC London the other night about. They didn't know anything about Brexit. Yeah. Well, why should they? No. Why should they know about it? But they're young, beautiful people.
But one of them did ask, "What is superficial?"
Right. Okay.
Which could be a very profound question, or it could be a really stupid question. I'm afraid I suspect the latter.
Yeah. But this thing that everyone should be really interested in Brexit and shouldn't.
It was more though from that. I'm not seeing the show. I remember watching the celebrity one, which I thought was vaguely entertaining. But this time, when they started talking about Brexit, it was the blagger who got into trouble because the Treasury said, "Oh yeah, that'll damage the environment. All that, we won't be able to breathe the air." Right. And then I said, "No, man, it's about Europe. It's not about the environment." And the other one then shut up.
Okay, right. It was about someone
masquerading for knowledge they're not in touch with.
Paul Ross will be on at 1 o'clock. It's always a good listen. There's loads of stuff in there. Catherine, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Oh, mate.
Hey, the hair, spot on.
Isn't it, though?
Very Leslie Caron.
Who's Leslie Carroll?
Gaman, like from the 1950s, was in Gigi, was in a film called Lily. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Well, Paul Ross is on next. We will be back tonight at 10. Until then, from us, ta-ta!
Talk Radio. Dial-up.
Les Karen.
Big Les Karen,